Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz Lawrencia. How are you all doing? Hope you're doing great. For today's episode, we want to discuss Michael Blackson, who is a very known comedian or actor, comedic actor, and he has done very well for himself. He was born in Ghana, and then I think the parents relocated to the US when he was very small, and he has been successful since then. Now, Michael Blackson made some tweets which he accused Ghana of embezzling his money or stealing his money and paying off Chinese government. As you all know, Africans, we borrow money from China. I mean, the whole world is borrowing from China, not just Africa. But Nigerians and Ghanaians borrowing has gone off the roof because politicians are embezzling money, so they are just borrowing just to fund an election or to maintain the lifestyle that they have incurred for themselves. Now, according to Michael Blackson, he was born in Ghana. His mother's hometown, he decided to kind of give back because according to him, they were very poor, so he knew what those kids there, the challenges that they are facing, especially going to school. So he decided to build a school in Ghana. Now, he built his school, and then to fund that school, he said he's going to require about $10,000 monthly for paying the school fees, paying teachers, feeding for the students, and just general running of the school. He said he's going to require $10,000. When he was doing the research, he realized that Ghana were selling bonds to their citizens, mostly international or diasporans, who they were calling to invest in Ghana. He said he did his due diligence, and one of the things that he said was that let's say Europe or other developed worlds, we're offering 5% interest on the bonds, but Ghana was offering 11%. But he felt that even if it's 10% that they will pay him, that's okay because the 10% will still be able to fund the school. So he decided to invest $1 million into the bonds, and which in return he was hoping to get at least $10,000 monthly to fund the school. Now, Michael Blackson went back, built the school, did everything. The school started running, and then Ghana, they said when he invested the money, they paid 10%, which is £10,000 for 1 month. And after a month, they stopped paying. He never received anything. According to him, they kidnapped his money, which is the $1 million. They've kidnapped that money. Not just that they kidnapped the money, they have refused to pay the interest. Now, he thinking, okay, I can take back this money and then invest in, let's say, Euro bonds. Ghana is now telling him that they have used that money to pay Chinese government, and that for him to get that money to require maybe 10-15 years. Let me just read the first tweet that he tweeted that started this whole thing. He said, "Who is the Minister of Finance in Ghana? I have beef with this guy. People of diaspora decided to invest in our continent, and they used our money to pay their debt and gave us two options. Either take a 35% cut and receive 5% interest with 11 years maturity date, or no cut but 1.9 interest with 15 years maturity date. I am very disappointed in my people for this. I did the Euro bonds because I figured that will help pay for the lifespan of the free school I built. Ghana decided to use our money to pay their debts to China and whoever and left us hanging. I am taking Ghana to world courts. They won't get away with this. When I was wiring the money to the state, my financial advisor advised me not to, but I have confidence in my motherland and they proved me wrong. Ghana is a great, peaceful, fun place to visit. Just be careful when it comes to any business move. If not for the love and passion I have for the unprivileged youths of Ghana, I would just hand over my school to the people and walk away, but I can't. When I bought the Euro bonds, it was paying 10% interest, which would pay for the school, and then Ghana kidnapped the money to use to pay for their debts. Almost 3 years later, tells me, oh, we are sorry. we can but we can only pay 1.9%, and we will hold your money for 15 years. Who is the current Minister of Finance in Ghana? Because they fired the old one. That don't make it right. We need answers. Ghana, if we want to be respected like other great countries of the world, we have to do better. So basically, this is the summary of the tweet that Michael Blackson tweeted, and he has made a whole lot of allegations since then. Now, one of the things that people were complaining about is, especially diasporans, they said that a lot of people, let's say in the early 2000s or even in the early 90s, made a whole lot of investments in Nigeria, not just Ghana. There's this story of this man and his wife who lived in Germany, and they worked hard. They had 3 kids. They worked very hard, and according to the wife, they didn't even have any investment in Germany because all their plans was to retire in Nigeria. So all their money, they were sending it back to Nigeria. You can imagine then, this was in the mid 80s and early 90s. So she said they were just working, sending their money until the husband unfortunately passed away a couple of years ago, because they were planning to retire in Nigeria. And according to her, that money would be able to just get them a home, either in Abuja or in Lagos, and they will start, a fresh life. She said they built houses in the village, but they didn't want to go back to the village. So when the husband unfortunately passed on, she decided, instead of her to continue with the plans of relocating to Nigeria, she had daughters in Germany who, some of them are married. Some of them asked her to join them in their house and, live, since her husband is no longer alive. So what she now wanted to do was to go to Nigeria and move the money that she had, because obviously she's not going back to Nigeria. Now that she wants the money out of that bank, I think it was one of these small banks that got folded up or don't have any much people patronizing them, all this old generation bank. She now wants to get the money out. The bank now told her that they can't give her money because the money is basically that if she gets those money out, that their bank will collapse. So she has been going from pillar to post to even get the money out. Now they kind of froze her account, so she can't even withdraw, because they're afraid that if she can withdraw, she might withdraw all the money at once. So they literally froze her account. She can't get her money. She is stranded. Because according to her, she still wants to go live with her kids, but not living in the same house. So maybe use some of those money to put on a down payment on a house and then just stay there, even if it's a one bedroom or one bedroom flat. But Nigerian bank refused to pay her money. I am sure there are so many stories, people living in diaspora who have invested in Nigeria, not just in the banks, not just buying bonds, not just buying shares. I remember when shares was a whole big deal. People were saving money, taking out loans to buy shares, to buy bonds, and after, let's say, 5, 6, 10 years, they're going to tell you that the bonds or the shares are worth nothing. And they've used your money to run businesses, do whatever they want to do, enrich themselves, and maybe one big man will come and borrow or take a loan from that bank, and the bank will collapse, and then they will tell you that your shares is worth nothing. But the reality is there are so many other people who have invested in Africa, who have invested in Ghana, Nigeria, and these are the stories that comes out of it. The government will seize your money, the banks will seize your money, even you buy a land, the community will seize your land. So there are so many things happening. All I would say is, people living in diaspora, before you go and buy a bond in Africa, in Nigeria, in Ghana, before you go and buy shares and everything, make sure that where you are okay, so that if anything happens in that end, you will still be able to survive. Most of people having heart attacks, most of the people having depression, high blood pressure, every other sickness that comes with it, that there's a level of betrayal that had happened that they are unable to recover from. So people living in diaspora, I'm not saying don't go and invest in Ghana. Michael Blackson is asking people not to invest in Ghana, that you can go to Ghana, visit Ghana, but investing in Ghana, he said, is a no-no. But I would not say that. I would say that before anything you're going to send to Ghana or Africa or Nigeria, just ensure that that is the money that you can do without for the time being. It's just like, you know, an investment, buying shares, buying bonds, crypto, whatever. Those monies that you put there are not something that you need to run your daily lives. Those monies are not monies that you need to run your daily activities. So you put them there and just forget about it. If something happens, it doesn't affect your daily life. If it goes really good, then that will change your life, basically. So still invest, do your due diligence. But if a developed country, if Euro bonds is offering 5%, and Africa, that you know that they are borrowing money, is offering 11%. Smell the rat. Wake up and smell that coffee. Know that they're about to use you for us. Anyway, Michael Blackson, we hope that because you've cried out, somebody will be able to help you at least recover some part of the money for at least for you to be able to run the school, because at the end of the day, you were trying to do something good for the people of Ghana. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. Today's episode is once again sponsored by DBT's Wigs. We sell wholesale, retail, and then if you want to partner with us, we're happy to do that. Please like, and share. Subscribe to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Let us know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.